Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Ayhan Yavuz. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about how to deal with loneliness. It's incredible, isn't it? Knowing that 8 billion of us share this beautiful planet. Yes, I know that we all have our own opinions and differences and such, and that is okay. I think that's the beauty of it. Hopefully, we will learn from each other, having respect for each other, and of course, kindness and compassion. But loneliness is such a heavy topic, and it is real, but it's not permanent. It does not have to be permanent. So, what is the reason for it? Is there a purpose? Do we really have to learn in this life by going through all these challenges, facing such difficulties? Is loneliness a choice? Do you choose to feel lonely? Do you feel like a victim? Do you spend some time with yourself and ask yourself why you feel the way that you do? Do you think you play some part in the situation that you're in? Do you think you created that loneliness for yourself? I'm not here to minimize anybody's situation, their emotions, their state of being, because it seems like, to me at least, most of us deal with something in this lifetime. But if we were to compare to our suffering to one another, I think it's going to be a big mistake. Because we all approach this life from our own angle, we all have our own thoughts. But I want to talk about the emotions because most of us somehow associate ourselves with the emotions that we feel. But emotions are not really for any one of us to take ownership of. For that reason, when we talk about loneliness, most of us will say, try to express that by saying, I'm lonely. So I'm going to suggest something for you to change the way they actually you verbalize the way that you feel. Just pay attention to this, please, that you are not your emotions. You feel whatever it is. If it's loneliness, you feel that, but you are not that. And again, some of us who are lucky enough to have their health, I suggest we start our days by just being thankful for it, being blessed by it. So it is true that some people experience loneliness because they feel isolated, especially what we have been going through for the past few years due to the pandemic, COVID-19. So many of us suffered at so many different levels. Not everybody is comfortable being social with one another, expressing where they are. Again, not everybody feels comfortable talking about what they are going through. So imagine if you're one of those people who do not feel comfortable getting together with others, even using the technology, all the Zoom calls and phone calls and all that. Not everybody has access to it. Even if they do, not everybody is comfortable with it. So those of us who were already struggling being part of the society, I believe they suffered more during the pandemic. So loneliness, it does not have to be a disease, and it is not a permanent thing. It's not a curse. There are things that we can do about the way we feel. First of all, we do accept the situation that we are in, whatever that might be. Even if we believe that it was not fair, or it wasn't right, or maybe somehow we are cursed, whatever that you might be thinking, whatever that your mind tries to tell you that there is a way for you to justify that situation, I'm here to tell you that there are things that you can do to rise above that. But here's the thing. When we find ourselves in a situation, it feels dark, that we feel the suffering is here to stay because it feels bigger than us. That is not bigger than us, I tell you that right now. But at that moment where you hit the rock bottom, where you feel like there's nothing else that you can do anymore, that you have no energy left, there's really nothing that you can do, you feel like at that moment. And if other people try to come and tell you that that is going to pass, you might want to believe that. Maybe you do want to believe them, but the moment that you're in, it feels so real because it is real to you. Your loneliness is real. So when you're in that place, when everything feels really dark, when you feel like there's no way out, here's my first suggestion. Be gentle with yourself. Accept the situation that you're in, but do not feed any negative thoughts as if your loneliness is here to stay, because it is not. Because there's something called healing, and healing is such a beautiful thing and contains so many of us, not just the humans, but all the beings of this planet, animals, plants, the nature, everything. They participate in healing. So we are here to help one another. But then again, not everybody is so comfortable going out to other person and asking them if they feel alone. And again, not so many of us are comfortable going out there and telling others that we feel alone. Society has already restricted so much. We are trying to get answers so quickly. But some of the things, the remedies that we look for, yes, it is correct that technology will help, you know, the things that we have gone through, the lessons that we have learned will help. But there is something way more important. Someone has such an incredible power to initiate this process of healing from within. That is you. Even if it feels very difficult for you in the beginning, as if you have no power to change things, even then, I would like you to accept that thought at that moment. Accept it. It's not about questioning why. It's not about trying to find out what happened in your life that you have found yourself in a place where you feel alone, isolated, lonely. Maybe you truly are alone. Maybe you don't have others around you. Maybe you have others around you, but you feel like they cannot understand where you are. Maybe you were in a relationship. Maybe that relationship ended. Maybe that person is no longer with you. So part of you, when that relationship ends, when that connection ends, feels left out, alone. Part of you believes that it is not fair. Part of you will say that you did not deserve. Maybe part of you will even accept that it was your fault. So the point is, the mind that we have is here to play games. So you will produce so many different thoughts. You will think about things. You will lose your slips. And when you feel sad, when you lose your desire to continue to participate in life, when you lose your hopes, which is worse, when you don't feel like doing anything else anymore, even for yourself, that's the message you will continue to send back to yourself. You will alter your own programming as if what you're going through, it's permanent, as if it is here to stay. But again, it is not here to stay. So loneliness is not really a choice, because I do not believe anybody on this planet will just get up in the morning and decide that although it's been very difficult to be alone, the experience of loneliness is difficult. They say, why not just continue feeling that every day? I don't believe that. But what I believe, that most of us, unfortunately, don't know what to do when we feel alone. And then somehow it becomes more difficult, as if we are getting used to being alone. We don't want to leave our homes. If we are lucky enough to have our own shelter, that is, because there are so many of us, they don't even have that option. They have accepted their lifestyle. But if you are not one of those people, if you're healthy, if you are not in the streets, you have advantages over so many others on this planet already. So then it does start with us being thankful for what we have first, focusing on what it is that we have, that it is working. No matter how awful we think our life is right now, I encourage you to look deeper within, to find something within you that you know that it has never given up shining its light. Think about that. Think about the moment that you were born to this life. Think about if you were alone, because the answer is going to be no. So we are connected, and it doesn't have to be a blood relation, but we are connected. So, because your life is your responsibility, then doing something about whatever that you believe that it is not working in your life, it is your responsibility. So I'm talking about your commitment to your own life. I'm talking about taking responsibility, accepting the situation that we are in right now. And if that is not working for us, I want you to please listen to this carefully, that you do have the power to change. You can do it. You can do it. And if you come across someone who seems to be suffering because they feel lonely, they're alone, listen to them. Because we are not only physical, spiritual, emotional, mental beings, but we are energetic beings. So we are also connected energetically. It doesn't matter what language you speak, where you come from, none of that. Energetically, we are connected. You right now have the power to help somebody. Maybe you don't have to wait for someone to come to you, ask for some kind of help. And same thing goes for those who seem to be suffering with something. Since we are talking about loneliness, and it is important, and it seems sometimes it can paralyze you, but just take a moment. Just listen to yourself for a moment. Because if you can dig deeper, that you will start remembering happy memories as well. And there's something magical about showing up to your life. And when you do that, when you actually help others, you realize that you get to recharge your own batteries. But it is so difficult when we are in that place, when we are all the way in the bottom, when we feel like we have no strength left, that there's no way that if I cannot lift myself up, I'm not going to be able to lift anyone else up. We think that way, right? I believe most of us believe that because we always try to help ourselves first, naturally. Yes, your life is your responsibility, but remember that we share, even our own life, we share. So if you believe this is a race, and if you finish first, then you're going to get rewarded. Maybe you will, but it's not going to taste the same. If you see someone who seems to be suffering, if you see someone who says that they are depressed, respect them, listen to them, be there for them, because their pace is up to them. I believe a depressed person doesn't want to hear from anybody in that very, very dark moment that they can just snap out of it. That would be the wrong approach. If someone somehow finds the courage to tell you that they feel alone, they are depressed, do not tell them to snap out of it. We are talking about chemicals in our body. We are talking about the thoughts seem to be controlling us because we want to break free, but we don't know how. If you know how, help the other person. Help. Because logically speaking, again, 8 billion of us on this planet, how is it possible that there's still loneliness? How is it possible that so many of us are still looking for the one, their one? And then how is it possible that some of us somehow are in a relationship, but we are still feeling alone? So then loneliness, is it really external? Is it internal? Ask yourself. For me, it is both. So yes, society can do about it, something about it, and you can do something about it as an individual. So please do not ever think that loneliness is permanent. It can change for the better. You can actually manifest what you want, not just what you need, but what you want. And if you feel healthy at so many different levels, and if you see somebody who seems to be depressed, feeling lonely, be there for them. Support them. Do not give up on them. Thank you for listening. Feel free to leave any comments for me. If you have any questions, I will do my best to get back to you. Bye for now.